everybody, and welcome back to my channel. Here's my fiance Kevin. He's back. So in today's video we're going to be making cold processed bar soap using the ingredients from the company Brambleberry. So yesterday we made one loaf. That's what it's called, a loaf. One loaf of bar soap already, strawberry peach champagne scented, and we used the fragrance oil from the Midwest Fragrance Company. And today we're going to be making the fresh mint eucalyptus. Today we're going to be making the cold processed bar soap. So let's get started.
All right.
Alright, so you guys, starting off with making your soap, you first have to start off with your safety. So we have our safety goggles. So this is what mine looks like. And Kevin has his somewhere. So they are advised that you use safety goggles, and you use gloves, long sleeve shirts, closed-toed shoes, things of that nature to make sure you are safe, because when making soap, you're going to use sodium hydroxide. Alright, so you need a scale, you need distilled water. Do not just use tap water or bottled water. You need distilled water. Where's our distilled water?
Right here.
Okay.
Distilled.
Yes.
Water. We got ours from Kroger. You know, it's
Yeah.
like $1 or $2. So you
Yeah.
have distilled water. You
You
have your scale.
Yeah, you can get distilled water from any store, so that's nothing that important. With the sodium hydroxide, aka the lye, you'll have to order this. You can't just pick this up at your local Walmart, okay? So you also need your coconut oil. We have the coconut oil from Brambleberry, but I assume that you can get coconut oil from any local store as long as it's, you know, organic, real coconut oil.
Right.
And you also need palm oil. I would advise to get this from Brambleberry or offline. I'm not sure if you can find palm oil from just any regular store, so I would just suggest to get it offline. You also need castor oil, and you also need your olive oil. So those are the oils that you need. Also, you need your fragrance oil of your choice. So if you do not know where to find good fragrance oil, we highly suggest the Midwest Fragrance Company. That's where we order all of our oils from.
You want to start off by putting your measuring cup on your scale, and you want to press and hold tare. Make sure that whatever vessel you use for your lye, water, your sodium hydroxide, and your water, you want to make sure you use a scale that you have a tare feature on, because you want to zero the vessel out, right? So you want to start with 4.6 ounces of sodium hydroxide, right? So you want to put these in two separate containers, because if you put them both in the same container, then you're going to have a very bad day as far as it heating up. It will heat up, and there will be like a combustion chamber. Alright, so I got 4.7. One thing you want to do is have good ventilation. We do have our fan on, and we have our window open. So I got 4.7 ounces here, right? That is for my lye, my sodium hydroxide. And then I want to do the same thing with my distilled water. Get a 3.8. You're going to press and hold tare, right? And then that's going to zero that back out. Hold on. And we need 10.9 ounces, not fluid ounces, units, ounces. All right, 10.9 ounces. Now that I got my 10.9 fluid ounces of distilled water, I'm gonna slowly stir in my my sodium hydroxide, right? So I'm going to slowly pour this in. I got a spoon right here. I usually have a metal spoon, but you don't want to use aluminum. You do not want to use aluminum. That causes a chemical reaction, so I'm using plastic and glass. Alright, you want to use a glass container or something that's very heat resistant, because this can get up to 200 degrees Fahrenheit. Alright, so you pour it in slowly, and as you pour, you stir. It's going to become a cloudy, like a cloudy appearance. It's going to appear cloudy. This is like pouring salt or sugar. It's going to be chalky at first, but as this sodium hydroxide dissolves, like I said, it expels that gas and it becomes cloudy. As it gets cloudy, it heats up. As it heats up, it emits gas. You do not want to inhale the gas. You want to make sure you have plenty of ventilation, and you want to pour slowly, because if you pour it all in at once, then it could heat up too fast, and that could cause a combustion, and you don't want that. And you never want to pour your water into the lye. You want to pour the lye into the water, because if the water goes in the lye, any water that goes beneath or below is gonna cause, like I said, an eruption, and that's a lot of heat, and it's gonna expel a lot of heat and gas. So I can start to smell the gas now.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, so I'm
It's getting
pouring
strong.
slowly. Ooh. Yeah, you want to have that window open or fan on. Make sure you got some ventilation. And I mean, if you want to wear a face mask, you can. You can wear a face mask with this, but we got plenty of ventilation, so that won't be necessary. Just pouring a little at a time. And as I'm pouring, this jar is heating up really hot. So you want to, it's going to get up to like 180 to 200 degrees. You want to have somewhat of a thermometer on you. This is the one for COVID. So as you can see, it say high. It just say high. It don't say nothing. It say high. It's meant for bodies, but if you want to use like a regular temperature thermometer that can give you an accurate reading, that'd be great. But you want to heat this up to 110 to 130 degrees, and then once it's that hot, then it's ready to go. But that's the thing, it's going to be a lot hotter than 110. You want to cool it down to 110. So what we usually do is, when we're done with this, since it's like, cold temperatures outside, we sit it in the window. That way it can vent out in the window. You want to make sure you got all of that out, just in case. So it's really, really hot. Alright. So now I don't hear anything, so it's all dissolved. It is all dissolved. I usually pick this up by the top, by the lid, since it is a jar, and I hold it off to the side because it is emitting that heat. All right. So now we're gonna go into our oils. Right? We have our coconut oil. We got more to go around. One good thing about Brambleberry's oils, right? Palm oil, coconut oil, castor oil. These things you can put directly in the microwave. And you can put these directly in the microwave. You want to heat them up. You want to heat them up to,
roughly 2 minutes.
Yeah, roughly 2 minutes. You want to have them hot enough though, because if it's not hot enough, once you pour them in here, it'll be kind of milky. You want it to have somewhat of a clear consistency, and then as you add in the sodium hydrate, the lye water, it becomes milky, because that lye water is what makes it, give it that chemical reaction, as in this loaf right here, which is about ready to come out after a couple days. It should be ready by Tuesday. So we got all of our oils here, and we can get started.
Alright, you guys, so the next step is to get your oils together. So like I said previously, you need your olive oil, your castor oil, you need your coconut oil, and your palm oil. Alright, so you have to get a scale. You cannot just eyeball it and, you know, stuff like that. You have to have a scale in order to do this. So we're going to go in with 6 ounces of coconut oil. So we're going to start with the pouch that we've already opened from our previous loaf of soap that we made. So we're going to go in with our coconut oil of 6 ounces. Then, okay, now we're going to go in with 6 ounces of our palm oil. I'm going to read this a little bit more accurately this time.
Which one was that? Coconut oil? Nothing wrong with a little extra coconut oil in your soap.
Alright, so you still got a little bit of the palm oil left. You know, you got to use up all of your stuff because, you know, stuff ain't cheap. Alright, so the next one we're going to do is our castor oil.
You want to pour the palm oil in there?
You got to pour this in. Thank you, babe.
You're welcome. Teamwork is dreamwork.
Yes. Alright, so I'm going to do 0.5 ounces of castor oil. So if you do not have, you don't have to go on Brambleberry to get any castor oil. You can get castor oil from pretty much anywhere. Alright. So 0.5 ounces of castor oil. And 6 ounces of olive oil. So we're going to use the rest that we have here. And then we're going to open up the next bottle.
Right behind you. It's right behind the other one.
Okay.
Right there. Yeah, that'll work. 5.9 is close enough, trust me.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to go over. All right.
Alright. So those are our oils.
So while you're doing this, you still want to check your lye water, because while you're doing all this, your lye water will change to a clear liquid. It will change to a clear liquid, but it will still be very, very hot, right? You want to check it, and right now we at 108. So around 110 to 130 is a good time to pour your lye water off into your mixture. So one good thing about having two, teamwork makes the dream work. So as I pour this in, right, I'm going to be stirring. Make sure you have a silicone spoon. No aluminum. No aluminum.
Yeah, so we have this little silicone spatula. You cannot use aluminum, okay? So
you want to do all this while this is still hot. But teamwork make the dream work. So while I'm doing this, she's going to come with the fragrance oil formula and the coloring, because like we colored the the strawberry peach champagne rose pink. We're going to color this one somewhat of a eucalyptus green.
Alright. Okay, everybody, so we've mixed up our coloring. So in order to give your soap color, you need, let's see, some type of oil. So we're using olive oil. We're using olive oil. You also need titanium dioxide pigment.
That right there helps to lighten up your colors if they're too dark. Because this is a darker.
And you also need some type of coloring pigment. So this is a very strong grain. So we want to lighten it up. So that's why we have the titanium. So this lightens up this color to more of a seafoam green. That way it gives it the eucalyptus feel to it. So we've measured out all of our little ingredients for our coloring, and you just need a little small bowl. So for us, we use the restaurant little bowls that you get with your chicken tenders and stuff like that. So yeah, if you got something like that at home, you can use that. And we're going to take a little spoon and just mix it up. You don't want any clumps or lumps in your color. And then the color will not change as you're mixing. It's going to lighten up when your soap mixture is poured into your mold. Because the pink coloring that we used for our first loaf of soap, it came out to be very magenta, almost the color of this spoon really. And now it's like the soft pink that you find in the Dove bars. So it just had to settle overnight. So this is going to be a very nice soft green by tomorrow.
There you have it.
Alright.
Yeah, put that back in there.
Alright.
And there you have it.
There's your coloring.
Okay, so now we have our oils. We have our lime water, which is still hot around 110, and we have our coloring, and we have our Cuisinart Smart Stick. You need a stick blender in order to blend all of this the way you want it. You know, if you want it to come out creamy and consistent, you want to use a stick blender. All right. So first thing you have to do to get this chemical reaction, you have to pour your lime water off into your mixture. But one thing you don't want to do, you don't want to just pour it. You want to kind of sift it in, right? Because if you just pour it, it's going to come out clumpy and your consistency won't be right. It's called a trace. Your trace will not come out right. You will have either a thick trace or a thin trace, and your mold won't come out right. As you can see right here, we have a silicone mold that is in a wooden box. That's good for keeping. This is not brambleberry, but it's also a good mold. We use a little bit. We had to reconfigure the measurements of the oils in order to fit this box because, of course, the brambleberry silicone mold is bigger. So we're going to start by pouring off your lye water into your mixture of oils, right? You got your mixture of oils here. They're all consistent. They're all, you see, they're smooth. As you pour your lye water, what I like to do is I like to pour my lye water off into the mixture on my silicone spoon. Now you will notice as you pour your lye water in, your mixture will become cloudy. It will become cloudy and thicker. The more you pour in, you have to stir. As you stir, it's gonna mix in, it's gonna become thicker. It's gonna become like a gravy of some sort. But you don't want to pour in too fast. I'm pouring down my spoon. It is really hot. And as I pour, after I get done pouring a little, I then mix, right? And then I keep going, I keep going, I keep going, I keep going. Just like that. Little by little. Until it's all in there. I'll pour all that in there. Slowly. And as you can see, it's mixed in, but it's not fully because your lye water is lighter. It's gonna have a tendency to sit on top of your mixture. That's where your stick blending come in, right? So you mix all this in, you got it blended, all right, with your spatula, I like to call it. But you want to come in with your stick blender, of course. And before you start, you want to take it in there. You want to burp it. You see those bubbles come up? You want to burp it. All right, and then I start to stick blend. But one thing you don't want to do, you don't want to keep it consistent. You want to just give it a few. Move it around. You see that? Yeah. It's already starting to turn. Okay, so when you get done, by the time you get done adding in your colorant and your fragrance, you should have a nice trace that's like this. It's kind of like a gravy or a cake batter, and you'll have a nice little sheen. That's thanks to the sodium lactate, the light water. You want to make sure everything is all incorporated. That light green is gonna change.
Get down here a little bit.
And then she said to get down here because that's that trace. You want to make sure you can see through this. That way you can blend everything in. You shouldn't see speckles of color pigment. You shouldn't see white anywhere, you know, unless you're doing like, you know, somewhat of like a layer. And that's like a whole different expert level. All right, so we're going to be pouring into our silicone wooden mold right here. All right, so once we pour this, it's set it and forget it. You don't want to touch it once you get it poured and set, because then it's kind of like a cake. You can get that, you know, it will get lumpy if you do not if you mess with it. So as you can see, it's got to a point where it kind of sits on top. So you want to go ahead and pour that in there. What I like to do is I like to pour and move to the side as I pour. And as you can see, it's kind of thick going in. But so when it comes to design, it's kind of like on you, whatever you want to do. Like I have done some research on designs. So like you got this one right here. It's called Peaks. And you got somewhat of like a valley. I just want to go straight across, get it as flat as I possibly can. And then as you know, with that strawberry champagne, whatever design you put in it, that's the way it's gonna stay until you cut it, which could take, you know, a couple days.
Yes, this is going to stay in the mold for 2 to 4 days. After you take it out of the mold, then you're going to cut it and let it cure for 4 to 6 weeks.
Look at that design. So I just put like a little
Alright, you guys, so that is our soap making process.
It's
We
fun
thank
and
you guys. Thank you guys so much for checking out this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I know this is a beauty and faith channel, but you know, soap is all a part of beauty because, I mean, you gotta take baths and showers, right? So we will be making more content with soap and things like that because I am a crafter and I just want to incorporate things that I enjoy on my channel. So don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Check out the Brambleberry website if you're interested in more of their products and things of that nature. Don't forget to show love and support to the Midwest Fragrance Company. Much thanks to them. That's where we got our fragrance oil from. And much thanks to Brambleberry for our oils.
They got the oils, they got the stick blenders, they got the colorant pigment, everything you need to start. Silicone molds. This bevel edge come from Brambleberry. They carry multi-slicers, they carry gloves, aprons,
everything you need
PPE,
to start with soap making.
Everything.
So enough rambling. We thank y'all for checking out this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And we'll see y'all in the next one. Bye.
Peace.